Hello and welcome back to the video. Today we're going to be talking about Splinter Cell, well, being no more. So around 2 years ago at Connect 2020, we had Meta, Facebook, Oculus, whatever they were called at that point, say this.
And today we are excited to announce our first AAA franchises for the VR market, which are Assassin's Creed and Splinter Cell. For the first time ever, fans will be able to live these beloved franchises in a truly visceral way. Both titles will be created from the ground up exclusively for the Oculus platform and will include elements of both the Assassin's Creed and Splinter Cell franchises that players know and love. We are excited to share more about these projects with you. Stay tuned.
That's right, we were super excited because we were being announced that there were two huge AAA titles coming to virtual reality, giving us Assassin's Creed, which we now know is Assassin's Creed Nexus, at least at this point, and Splinter Cell Virtual Reality, which is going to be something that we were going to finally be able to experience what it's like to be Sam Fisher with some freaking night vision goggles and getting to work in a stealthy way. Now, those two things were huge for virtual reality because honestly announcing these big AAA titles coming into them is something that is not heard of very often, and also is fantastic because it's a big sign of us going mainstream once we start getting those big franchises being made for virtual reality. Sadly though, unfortunately, yesterday we get the news that Splinter Cell has been killed. Goodbye Splinter Cell, no more Sam Fisher for virtual reality. Oh no, 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 no. Gone forever. So Ubisoft put out the news that they had stopped working on Splinter Cell. It's gone now, along with 3 other titles, 2 unannounced and 1 that was another Tom Clancy title as far as I'm aware. Those are all gone. Really, they're of no interest to me right now because we're not talking about pancake games, we're talking about virtual reality. But the news here really is the fact that Splinter Cell is now no more, which is kind of freaking sad because this is a big game that a lot of people have been looking forward to, and really we've had no communication from anyone for like 2 years on this subject. They announced that they are going to be doing them, and then we've had absolutely zero contact. The only thing that we've had from these 2 games that has been announced is the Assassin's Creed Nexus news that sort of leaked a little while back now. I'll show you a little bit of footage of what I'm talking about. All that we got come out was this little bit of footage of the game, which is essentially just a menu and the fact that it was called Assassin's Creed Nexus. The only other information that we got about that is that it wasn't going to be so much of an open world title. You were going to get to explore scenes and scenarios of those characters and small portions of experiences to go through, and yeah, so we weren't looking at really getting an open world game for that anyway, which would have been very ambitious for a virtual reality game, but I think it's what people really wanted. But still, I feel like that game could be pretty freaking badass if they put a lot of work into it. I want to see a lot of the parkour really working in virtual reality, something like the stride sort of physics of the way they do things. All of those things coming together could make an incredible game. But what's interesting to me is if they're that far along with Assassin's Creed, had they just not started Splinter Cell, or is there a build of Splinter Cell VR that's out there in the wild somewhere? I don't know. Like, have they just not done anything to it for 2 years? You'd think if they'd spent all of that money developing something that they would do something with it, but I guess I don't really know how that works in the industry. But what are your thoughts and opinions? Like, let me know in the comments down below. Do you think they'd even started working on Splinter Cell, or do you think that it just never got off the ground and that's why they've axed it? Because I'm kind of interested to find out now at this point, because you know, they would have been big money making games and they would have been headset sellers, man. These AAA games are what bring people into virtual reality. People that necessarily wouldn't pick up a VR headset, wouldn't go for it. Things like Alex, Half-Life Alex, that really bring people into virtual reality because they're like, hey man, there's that game that I really love, and now the only way to experience that game that I really love is in virtual reality, and I get to be the character, so it's so much more exciting. That's how I feel, at least, and it's how a lot of people do feel when they start buying into the industry. But then we have other things on the back burner still as well that I'm very interested to find out some news on, is things like the fact that we haven't had any news so far on GTA San Andreas coming to virtual reality, other than, again, them dropping it on us at Connect and then just literal radio silence. Like, they keep dropping these title names but then give us nothing else. Like, perhaps they should maybe not announce these things until they have at least bare bones a trailer to put out. Even a concept trailer would have been good, just to kind of show us what we're going to get in for. Otherwise, it just kind of feels like these false hope promises that we're being given of like, hey, here's this incredible franchise that is going to be coming to your thing that you love, and yeah, that's it. Will it happen? Will it not? Who knows? Yeah, seems kind of odd to me. But what do you guys feel about that as well? Let me know. This is kind of more of a discussion video that I'm throwing out there where you guys I want to know your opinions on the subject. Do you think that Meta should definitely stop announcing these things pre them having anything to show us other than just hi, this name coming to this thing? So what are your thoughts about that? Just let me know in the comments down below. So what's interesting is Meta still hasn't made an official announcement about this happening yet, or the lack of this happening now, which I find kind of interesting as well. I wonder whether they will make an official statement. I kind of feel like they definitely should say something, just like, hey, acknowledgement to everyone, because there's not everyone's going to be following these news things. I'll be sure that there'll be a lot of you that will actually won't even know that this is a thing just yet. When I'm making this video, you'll be watching this, finding it out for the first time, because unless you're following in these circles, you're not really going to find out, oh, Splinter Cell's not happening, because it's not big enough news to hit a lot of news outlets, because, you know, virtual reality still being kind of niche the way that it is. But anyway, I think that's pretty much going to round us up for this video. It's an interesting subject that I thought I'd just make a short video on today and just kind of address. I don't normally do things like this so much on the channel. We normally cover things like just game releases, gameplay and all that sort of stuff. But this is just one that I just wanted to get out. I wanted to talk to you guys about it because I found it very interesting, and I kind of want to know your thoughts and opinions on this subject, and just know what your feelings are on the fact that this has been cancelled now and we're not going to get it, which sucks because I was really looking forward to it. Deflated. It's one of those sad days for virtual reality when things like this just get axed. It's another big reason for why I'm very excited for things like PSVR 2, because I feel like this is going to be the gateway to a lot of AAA developers actually starting to develop for things in virtual reality. And I feel like this is going to be the opportunity for us to take a bit of a U-turn on virtual reality and sort of not step away from the mobile side of things, but step into a new side of things where we're starting to branch back into the high-end virtual reality experience. And I just love that. I'm just so damn excited for the day that when we have high-end virtual reality being made out again alongside things like Quest, because Quest is incredible, and don't get me wrong, I freaking love my Quest, and it's been one of those things that has brought me countless hours of entertainment. So don't think I'm just hating on it, because I'm absolutely not. It's been a fantastic time playing it. But for me, a virtual reality veteran, I'm looking forward to having that high-end experience again, something with a visual fidelity that is just going to blow your freaking mind. You know, when we get games like that Kayak Mirage that came out recently, and you get a glimpse into the future of what virtual reality can look like, oh man, that's what I'm excited for. Or things like Horizon coming out in virtual reality. This kind of things just break my mind, because I'm just like, this is what I've always really wanted. This is what I've wanted to see from virtual reality. And we've had glimpses of it when, you know, pre sort of like the Quest days, we had glimpses of these things happening in virtual reality, but obviously developers are now mainly focused on developing for the Quest 2. So it's kind of shimmed a little bit in the other direction. Completely understandable, because it's where the money is. But yeah, nonetheless, I'm looking forward to that time period. Anyway, I'm just ranting at this point about things. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything I've said today in this video, and I look forward to reading all of your comments. I'll do everything I can to get back to everyone who comments. And yeah, bad news, sad news, wish I had good news, but I don't. Anyway, I will catch you in the next video. If you enjoyed this, smash like, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace out. Rhys, say goodbye.